This is News Channel 7 at 5.
Good evening, everyone. I'm James Sparvero. Welcome to News Channel 7 at 5 o'clock. 53-year-old Ed Sorensen has received multiple recognitions for heroic work over his career, but he told me that perhaps today was his greatest honor. We're going to begin tonight in Lynn Haven, where a family is counting their blessings after a fire destroyed a part of their house overnight. This was the scene early Sunday morning on Kentucky Avenue and 4th Street. Earth Day is this Monday, but the E.O. Wilson Biophilia Center is celebrating this Saturday with all kinds of events for your family to enjoy.
James Sparvero joins us with more. James.
Good morning, everyone. As the flowers and the trees spring back to life, some kids are affected by more than just their beauty. It's a love story with a Hollywood-caliber script with origins in Northwest Florida, an epic narrative which survives the greatest conflict of our time and spans nearly 6 decades.
This is News Channel 7 at 5.
Welcome back to News Channel 7 at 5. Monday is the anniversary of the birth of North Korean founder Kim Il-sung. The big question is, will the country's military test fire a missile to celebrate? News Channel 7's Adam Klotz is back with us as we take a look at some wacky weather to our friends to the north. A third straight day of heavy rain caused all sorts of problems in the Atlanta area overnight and early this morning. And if you notice, I have Avatar here. Avatar is the male next to O-D-T, the female, and the female is actually much larger, Paul. A shot fired early this morning at a Panama City Beach motel. Beach police arrest the man who shot the gun. You'll hear from an eyewitness. Plus, a motorcyclist hospitalized tonight in Panama City. And while many of us spent this gorgeous Sunday enjoying ourselves, volunteers from the Ron John Surf Shop help clean up the world's most beautiful beaches.
From WJHG, coverage you can count on. This is News Channel 7 at 10.
Good evening, everyone. I'm James Sparvero. Thanks for joining us tonight here on News Channel 7 at 10 o'clock. We start with a scary scene early today at a Panama City Beach motel. Beach police say a gunshot was fired from the second floor of the In Paradise on Front Beach Road. Police arrested 31-year-old James Lee Mashburn of Campbell, Alabama, and his girlfriend Linda Jane Wood after receiving a call of a physical altercation involving multiple people around 2:40 this morning. Eyewitnesses say the fight began across the street at Donovan's Reef, then carried over to In Paradise. Police say Mashburn fired a single gunshot from the second floor of the motel just before deputies arrived on scene. Police interviewed Wood, and she denied having any knowledge of her boyfriend being involved in the shooting, but a second interview revealed Wood did know about the shooting and that she was the owner of the gun. Fortunately, the bullet, which was fired in the direction of someone else, struck only the road. Mashburn was later found to be a convicted felon. He's charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, 2 counts of battery, and felon in possession of a firearm. Wood is charged with supplying false information to law enforcement during investigation. They're being held in the Bay County Jail. New tonight, a motorcyclist is hospitalized after being injured in a crash in Panama City. This was the scene on Harrison Avenue shortly after 7 this evening. Panama City police say 2 people were on the motorcycle when it became involved in a crash with a Kia Rio. The driver of the bike was hospitalized with unknown injuries. The passenger was unhurt. The driver of the Kia was also not injured. A handful of Mexico Beach residents are being told it's now safe to use their water. A precautionary boil water notice in effect since Monday has been removed. The city's water department has rescinded the notice following a study showing the water is now safe to drink. Residents affected by the boil water notice included those who live east of 8th Street between Highway 98 and Florida Avenue, extending to Highway 386, and residents of Alabama Drive and First, Magnolia, Azalea, Oak, Pine, and Palm Streets. Protesters were out again in front of Zoo World on Front Beach Road this afternoon. There were about 20 people standing on the sidewalk in front of the nonprofit zoo, holding signs which showed their support of animal enclosure expansions. The protesters believe the current enclosures are not big enough for the animals to be kept in, which they say could have been the reason for the recent passing of Elliot, the young giraffe. Zoo World officials were unavailable for comment. Hundreds of proud parents, friends, and family members gathered at the Marina Civic Center to honor recent graduates of FSU Panama City. A total of 351 degrees were awarded for this academic year. Of those, 292 were bachelor's degrees and 59 were master's degrees. Tom Gossam Jr., he's an actor, writer, and communication professional, delivered the commencement address. The ceremony also honored the first graduates from the Colleges of Applied Studies, which was established in 2010 as the 16th academic college on the FSU Panama City campus. There will be a new commander on base at Eglin Monday morning, and the man replacing him will come to Panama City. A change of command ceremony is scheduled to take place at the Naval School of Explosive Ordnance Disposal. Beginning at 10 in Niceville, Captain Joseph Paulinen will turn over command of the Naval School to Captain William Noel in a traditional Navy ceremony. Noel is transferring from Navy Expeditionary Combat Command of Norfolk, Virginia. Paulinen has been the commanding officer of the EOD for 2 years. He's coming to Bay County to serve as the commanding officer for explosive ordnance disposal and diving in Panama City. Springfield city officials have a big vote ahead of them Monday. Officials are expected to vote on a moratorium against any more homeless shelters within city limits. The city would use the moratorium until a permanent ban ordinance is written. Monday's vote would prevent any new homeless shelters setting up shop for the next 6 months. City officials recently won a lengthy court battle to squash the Panama City Rescue Mission's plan to expand its Bethel Village campus. Thousands of people die each year from various forms of skin cancer, and that's why one local skin center is lending a hand to help detect early warning signs. In recognition of Melanoma Monday tomorrow, Coast Skin Surgery and Dermatology is offering free cancer screenings at their Destin and Miramar Beach locations. The free screenings will take place between 1 and 5 Monday afternoon. The Centers for Disease Control say melanoma is the third most common skin cancer, but it causes the most deaths, about 8,000 each year. For more information on Monday's free screenings, you can call the number on your screen. And while some people spent their Sunday soaking up the sun, one group spent their day cleaning up the beach. As News Channel 7's Ashley Arnold tells us, the Ron John Surf Shop is celebrating its biggest beach cleanup effort yet. Coming up on News Channel 7 at 10, neighbors say a 6-year-old Broward County girl is shot by her teen brother while playing a game of hide and seek. We'll try and make sense of this devastating accident. Lieutenant John Otherman presented the Portland, Oregon native with the Coast Guard Public Service Commendation Award shortly after noon at Madison's Warehouse Restaurant. More than 20 members of Sorensen's family and closest friends came for lunch in recognition of the cave diver's accomplishments. At a fit 53 years old, Aquaman feels very privileged to receive his first honor from Homeland Security. Sorensen was awarded for saving 4 lives on 3 different occasions in 2012, including the rescue of 3 cave divers at Blue Spring Recreational Park. Of the 8 known successful cave diving rescues, Sorensen is the only person responsible for more than one. In the newsroom, James Sparvero, News Channel 7. Joining us this afternoon, we're delighted to have a local author in our studios who has just published a fantastic read for history lovers and love story seekers everywhere. So now we get into the war a couple years later. Your father's in Europe. He's in the campaign with the Rainbow Division. He's sending the love letters home to your mother. Talk about that.
They were microfilmed, and then the microfilm rolls were sent to save cargo space on the planes back to the States, where they were produced in small form like this. And they were mailed out then to the recipients.
Unbelievable. And
yes.
Someone certainly as young as me, you know, with the technology we have at our dispense today, we don't understand the importance of love letters in those days.
Right. Well, it was the only form to communicate.
The only form.
There was no other way. There were no cell phones and computers.
So now we go through the war, we go through the 1940s. We're going to span 5 decades later. The 1990s, we sadly put your mother to rest, 1996.
Correct.
And it just so happens that all these decades later, you find these love letters one day. Tell us about that story.
My dad had no idea she had kept those.
He had
and
no
we had never seen
idea, and she had just passed. So
right.
he never had a chance.
Right.
He never had a chance to tell her how much that meant to him.
Correct. That's right.
As a woman, do you have any explanation, any understanding of why your mother would keep that hidden from him for 50-plus years?
Well, you know, after World War II, a lot of the soldiers came home and just went back to life, and they didn't really talk much about the war, and I'm sure a lot of people have figured that out. And so my mom just put it away just as a family, I don't know, just a secret for her, and just never thought to show it to us. I guess it was just her treasure trove, you know, and she stuck it in a drawer, and we never knew it was there. We weren't
It's like Gloria
kids.
Stewart in Titanic when she says, a woman's heart is a deep ocean of secrets. I guess that's the best way to describe it.
That's right. This was her Titanic. This was her secret.
Should stick to those 6s, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. of course.
Stick to the 6s like LeBron James, number 6.
Stick to the 6s, but of course, weather permitting.
Weather permitting. Ted, I think if any team's going to beat the Heat this year in the playoffs, it would be the Chicago Bulls, but I don't think the timing's right. I think they need Derrick Rose back and playing at a superstar level.
That's what I was going to say. I said if the Bulls are going to do it, Derrick Rose is going to have to be on the floor.
Because they can out-physically play the Heat.
Right.
Like they did on March 27th.
Right.
They knocked them around
Their
and they won that
physicality
game.
is their calling card. That's what they do best. And people think that's what the Heat do the worst of all the great things that they do. They think they can't be as physical as the teams like the Bulls.
But if you don't have your best player, you need all your horses to win in the playoffs.
Right, exactly.
So we'll keep watching. Stay with us. Back in a moment to wrap it all up.
I think we can see some periods of some very heavy rain tomorrow.
Heavy rain, but right now, while it's still beautiful, there's only one other thing I'd rather do than be on the beach on a beautiful day like today.
I have no idea what that is. What is it?
That's hosting the news right here, News Channel 7 at 6 with my good friends Adam Klotz and Ted Williams and all the rest of us. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd rather be on the beach.
Okay, well, have it your way. Up next, grab your board and don't wipe out. Mr. Surf's Pro-Am Skim Jam invades Panama City Beach. All right, thanks, Adam. We're going to turn now to a very interesting story. It's about some special dogs not far up the road in Alabama. They're trained at an early age to blend into large crowds and sniff out danger. Some experts say they might even have prevented the bombings in Boston. All right, we're going to continue to follow it. We hope you do so with us. More news, sports, and weather tonight on News Channel 7 at 10. Join us then, everybody.